And salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be recommending some books that have the fake dating trope. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Trope Week. If you don't know what Trope Week is, it is a series I do here on my channel where for an entire week I pick one specific romance book trope and give a bunch of recommendations. I've been doing this for quite a while, so I do have a playlist listed down below with like 50 plus videos of all different types of tropes. I'll leave the playlist down below like I said, but today is going to be all about fake dating. I love a good fake dating trope. I love when the stakes are high. I also love like a marriage of convenience. I feel like marriage of convenience and fake dating kind of go hand in hand, but I do have a separate video for marriage of convenience. Okay, so the first two books that I want to talk about are actually from one of my favorite series, and that is the Love Light series from B.K. Borison. Absolutely adore this series. I have a tattoo for each book in this series. Two of them do have that fake dating trope, so I'll quickly talk about those. This book in this series is Love Light Farms, and this is a friends to lovers romance. Our heroine Stella, who owns a Christmas tree farm, and she's kind of struggling financially to keep her business afloat, so she ends up entering into a social media competition that has a cash prize. She enters into the competition. She wants to make her tree farm sound a little bit more whimsical and romantic, so she lies on the application and said that she owns the tree farm with her boyfriend that she does not have. And that is where our hero Luca comes in. They have been best friends for 10 years, and they make a deal that they're going to fake date so that she can enter into the social media competition. One is so adorable. It has like a mutual pining trope because both of our characters have been like hopelessly, madly, deeply in love with each other, but never wanted to ruin their friendship, and now like this is the opportunity for them to just go for it. So freaking sweet. I feel like each book in this series is special and I like it for different reasons, but this one has just like all of my favorite tropes and it gives cozy vibes. And the other one that has a fake dating trope is Mixed Signals, and this is arguably my favorite in the series, but it's so hard to choose, but only because this has like my ultimate book boyfriend. I adore the hero in this book so freaking much. This one follows our heroine Layla. She also owns a part of that Christmas tree farm from the first book, and she owns a bakery on the farm. Kind of been unlucky in love and has gone on a series of really bad first dates. That is kind of where our hero comes in. Our hero Caleb is a high school teacher in this small town, and he ends up kind of saving her from a really awful date, kind of just like exchanging stories, all the bad first dates that they have, and they decide that for a month they're going to fake date, no strings attached. Hero Caleb kind of wants to show our heroine that she is worthy of love and attention and affection, and he also kind of like wants feedback because his dates also have not been going well. It's kind of a way for him to get her to go out with him because he has been secretly pining after her, but our heroine has a rule that she does not date anyone in this small town. The book is perfect. It's adorable. Our hero, like I said, is one of my favorite heroes ever. Caleb, I don't even know how to explain him. He is so baby girl, but also so zaddy. You know, he's like a soft cinnamon roll, but a little dominant in bed. He's gonna open the door for you, but he also might tie you up. Like, he is sexy sweet. You know what I mean? I love him, I adore him, and I really like the baking aspect to this as well. So if anyone does fake dating really, really well, that is Eden Finley and Saxon James. They have so many books with this trope, and I am such a huge fan of their work. They co-write books together, and then they also write books individually, and I've read dozens and dozens of their books because I'm just a huge fan of their writing style, their romances, and I also love how they connect all of their series together. So honestly, if you like the fake dating trope, just go ahead and read a bunch of Eden Finley and a bunch of Saxon James, but I'm just going to talk about a couple of my favorites. So one of the first ones I want to talk about is Irresponsible Puck Boy. This is one that they do co-write, Eden Finley and Saxon James. This is a part of their Puck Boy series, which is a hockey male-male romance series. This book follows Trip and Dex, and they are professional hockey players that play for the same NHL team. So our hero Trip is the goalie, and he is openly gay, and then our hero Dex is his best friend that he is hopelessly in love with. Classic trope of like being in love with your straight best friend. Dex is kind of a mess and a little bit of a commitment phobe, and he gets it in his head that he fears the idea of getting married. So in one night, he somehow convinces Trip to pretend marry him in Vegas. That way he can kind of like get the jitters out of getting married, but it turns out that they get real married, okay? They actually get married in Vegas, and the story leaks into the media. Their publicity team is not very happy about it, especially because of the insane story of how it happened, so they have to fake date to make the public think that they're actually in love, and they end up falling for each other. I know sometimes the trope of like falling in love with your straight best friend can be a little toxic, but I kind of love it. It's just like a classic thing that queer people go through, and the straight friend is never as straight as they think. So I love this one. It's so hilarious. The banter in this book literally had me laughing so many times, so I highly recommend it. And Eden Finley individually writes a series called the Fake Boyfriend series. So it's in the freaking title that it has a fake dating trope. There are like 5 books in the series, and most of them have the fake dating trope, so I'm just going to talk about the first 2. So the first book in the series is called Fake Out, and it follows our heroes Maddox and Damon. Maddox, our hero, he is straight, but when he was in high school, like going into college, he really struggled to break up with his high school girlfriend. Everyone assumed that they were going to get married and have kids, and he absolutely did not want that, but he did not want to hurt her feelings. So instead of like breaking up with her naturally, he somehow blurts out that he's gay. All of his friends and all of his family think that he's gay, but he goes off to college, doesn't really think anything of it. Now his ex-girlfriend that he broke up with is getting married, and he's invited to the wedding and expected to bring his boyfriend back home that he does not have. So Maddox's best friend has a brother named Damon, our other hero. Damon is openly gay. This is a sports romance. He was a professional baseball player, but ended up getting injured. He really wants to stay in the sports industry after his injury, and is now becoming a sports agent and trying to open up his own firm. He agrees to be Maddox's fake boyfriend at this wedding. Maddox's brother-in-law, cousin, I don't know, someone that he knows is a professional hockey player that potentially Damon could represent because he's a sports agent. So they both have their reasons as to why they're entering into this fake dating scenario. I love this one. It's so fun and a really good start off to the series. The next one is called Trick Play, and this is another sports romance. They kind of specialize in sports romances, and this one is a football romance. So Matt is a professional football player, and one night he is caught at a club hooking up with another guy. The pictures of that end up going viral, and he becomes one of the only openly gay players on his team. From there, his PR team and his agent is trying to make sure he still gets good publicity as he is coming out. That is where our other hero comes in. His name is Noah, and he is the son of a very popular senator. Noah's kind of rebellious, and he likes the idea of having a public relationship to kind of piss off his parents. So he pretends to fake date our hero Matt so he can get some good publicity and have good connections, and it ends up following the romance. Honestly, I love every single book in the series. I think I gave them all 5 stars. Those are some of my favorites by Eden Finley, and then Saxon James has a couple that I really like. One of my favorites is The Husband Hoax. This is the first in the Accidental Love series. It's another male-male romance. It follows our heroes Christian and Emil. Hero Christian is kind of like a walking disaster. He's super clumsy. Unfortunate things are always happening to him, and he is also kind of the black sheep of his family because when he came out, they were not very accepting of it. They were actually quite judgmental. Basically disowned from his family, but one of his cousins that he's still friends with invites him to a wedding, and he wants to bring a date to the wedding to kind of like piss off his parents. So he hires someone on a dating app to just come with him, but they end up bailing at the last minute. Neil is at the location because there is another event happening there, and he kind of hears what's going on and offers to help Christian. They pretend to be engaged and they go to this wedding. Emil does benefit from this fake dating situation because his grandfather recently passed away. It said that he cannot get his inheritance until he is married or at least engaged. I can't remember what the rule was. End up having this fake engagement so Christian has a date at the wedding, and then Emil can get his family's inheritance, and it follows the romance. I loved this one. Our characters are amazing together. Love this one. This one also has a found family trope because Christian lives in a house with a bunch of his friends. Each friend does also get their own romance as well, but it's a huge found family trope that is just so heartwarming and special. The second book in the series is called Not Dating Material, and that one also kind of has a fake dating trope as well. Follows our heroes Molly and Seven. They live in that house together. Like I said, a bunch of friends all live in this one house. Lee is another one who has been unlucky in love. He cannot seem to make it past like a second or third date, and he's starting to think that something is like horribly wrong with him. So he ends up propositioning his roommate Seven to go on a bunch of fake dates with him and give him feedback, tell him what he's doing wrong. Fake dates just end up turning into real dates. I said this whole series does have a found family trope, so both of our characters have been through so much, but they kind of find solace in each other. I could fill this whole video with Saxon James and Eden Finley books because they love this trope and I love their books. So We're gonna move on though. Those are just some of my favorites. So the next one is Zenny by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This one is more fake dating, marriage of convenience vibes. This book follows Zenny and Mason. Zenny's aunt recently passed away. She's really close to her. She's quite devastated from the loss, but her aunt was a famous actress or singer, so she did have quite a bit of money, and pretty much her entire inheritance is being left to Zenny, but there is a stipulation that she has to marry someone of her aunt's choosing. The man that her aunt chose was Mason, who was a friend of her aunt's. Kind of put into the situation where they can't get the money or the inheritance if they don't marry, and both of them kind of need the money for different reasons. So they decide that they're going to enter into this marriage of convenience slash fake dating relationship to get this money. This one does have pretty good representation. Both of our characters are openly bisexual and they have some fun times. There's even some pegging in this romance, which is very sexy, very fun indeed. Christina Lauren is an author duo that also really likes this trope. I have a couple with the fake dating trope. So one of my favorites is Roomies. This is a contemporary romance. Our heroine lives in New York. She ends up seeing this guy on the subway kind of every day performing and singing, and she's instantly kind of like drawn to him. He was a producer for like Broadway and different shows in New York, so she ends up getting him an audition there. The only thing is his working visa is actually about to expire. I think he's from like Ireland or something. He's supposed to leave really soon because his working visa is going to expire. It's a really great opportunity that he's gonna miss, so our heroine agrees to enter into a marriage of convenience for him so that he can get his papers and also work for her uncle. This is a fake dating marriage of convenience, but also forced proximity because they end up living together as well. I really did enjoy this one. And then another really popular one that Christina Lauren wrote was The Unhoneymooners. This one, our heroine's twin is getting married and she is the maid of honor. However, she has some beef, okay? She has some beef with the best man, a little bit of an enemies to lovers vibe there. Everyone at the wedding ends up getting sick because of the catered food. The only two people who do not get sick are our two characters. At an all expenses paid trip, so she ends up going on her sister's honeymoon because they're twins, and guess who joins her? Okay, the best man that she doesn't get along with. And they end up having to fake date, pretend that they're married or engaged because they're on this really romantic honeymoon, and it follows their romance. Another contemporary romance that I really like with this trope is Marriage on Madison Avenue by Lauren Lane. There are 3 books in this series. The whole series basically follows this premise where these girls end up meeting each other because they realize that they're all dating the same guy, and they realize that at his funeral. Yeah, the guy died, and then they realized how trash he was. He had a wife, a long-term girlfriend that he was about to propose to, and then also like a new girlfriend that he just met. Instead of these 3 girls fighting each other, they actually end up being best friends and kind of making a pact that they're gonna help each other find their happily ever afters, which is really sweet. I love a girl gang. I love this whole series, but the 3rd book in the series, Marriage on Madison Avenue, is the one that has the fake dating trope. Follows our characters Clark and Audrey, who have been friends since they were kids. Hero Clark's family is pretty well off, pretty wealthy, and his parents are very meddlesome, always setting him up on blind dates, and he's kind of tired of being set up on all these awful dates. So he ends up convincing his best friend Audrey to pretend to be engaged with him to kind of get his parents off his back. It kind of helps our heroine Audrey because she is a social media influencer. Her fans find out that she's engaged, they are really into it, and they want to follow like the whole wedding process. It ends up creating like a lot of cool content for her, so they pretend to date and obviously fall for each other. Written in the Stars by Alexandria Belfleur is another fake dating romance, and this is also a Pride and Prejudice retelling. This is a sapphic romance, so our heroines Darcy and Elle get set up on a blind date by Darcy's brother, and the date goes awful. Like, it's terrible. When Darcy's brother asks her how the date went, she lies and says that the date went wonderful because she does not want to be set up on any more blind dates. It does take place during the holiday time, so there's all these different types of events. Now Darcy is expected to bring her girlfriend, so she ends up convincing our other heroine to fake date during the holiday season. I really like this one. It's kind of like a grumpy sunshine pairing, and it's super cute. So those are a couple books that have the fake dating trope. If there are any more that are your favorites, please leave them in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the absolute world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!